Good afternoon. My name is Deron Robinson, and I am a candidate in the Master's in Administration program here at Lamar University. I'm about to record my participating video, and I have chosen option number 3 to do my video over. In this video, you will see me interview 5 different personnel from the Hearn Independent School District. I will be interviewing Mr. Jay Davis from the Human Resource Department. I will be interviewing Ms. Cortez, who is a nurse. I'll be interviewing Ms. Cynthia Castilleja, who deals with PEEMS. I'll be interviewing Mr. Fondell Adams, who is our Director of Transportation. And then I will interview Mr. Joe Taylor, who is the Director of Maintenance. From this video, I hope to discover how the different departments utilize technology on a daily basis. Sometimes we assume we know what they use and how things go, but this would be a great way to sit down with people and not only get to know how they use technology, but just to get a glimpse of what they do on a daily basis, to learn more about their jobs. Why is PEEMS important? What does the day of a maintenance director look like? What does a director of transportation deal with? What is the guy who works in human resources? What does his day look like? So things like that, and getting to know people, getting to know the different positions, and just seeing what they do. So those are some of the things I hope to learn from this interview. I hope things go well, and I just, hey, never know, I might need one of these roles one day to work in. So it's just good to know what they do, technology they use. Do they have to train the people in their department to use the technology? So this is going to be very interesting, interviewing 5 different people to discuss technology. This has been a great program to be in. I've learned so much. So now, as I'm looking at this technology piece, it just lets us know that technology is used everywhere. So no matter what field you try to go in, technology plays a very important role in our society. So we have to know how to use it. We have to know how to utilize it. We have to integrate it in our classrooms, because even now, children, age 3, they know how to use technology. So it's going to be interesting to see what's being used in the various departments. I'm assuming everybody uses a computer, but there are other things out there that people utilize, and this is going to give me some insight to exactly that. So in the next 35 to 40 minutes, you will see the interviews from the various people, and I hope I do a great job, and I hope that this video lives up to the standards that Lamar University has set for me. Thank you to the professors who have taught me this far. Thank you to the IAs that's had to grade all of the work so far. I'm learning so much in this program, and it almost gets me in trouble, because the things I learn and I see that are not happening on the campus, it makes you almost want to speak up and try to take over and try to utilize some of the things that you're learning. So I'm eager. I'm ready to get out there. I'm ready to be an instructional leader to help a campus be all that it can be. So again, thank you, and I hope this video meets your requirements. Good afternoon. This is my first interview for my participating video, And right now, I'm about to interview Mr. Jay Davis, who serves as our Director of Operations and Instruction for Hearn ISD. Mr. Davis, my first question is, what type of technology does your department use on a routine basis?
We have several times from computers to smart boards to, actually we have some new interactive computers that are like 16-inch screens on the wall. So they're like a big screen TV, except it's an iPad. It's a giant iPad. So that's the type of technology that we mostly use. We use, some kids bring their own iPads. We have Chromebooks. We use iPads with our ESL students for different programs to help them translate into English to Spanish. I think that's about it, educationally, anyway.
Are department objectives effectively and efficiently met through the use of technology?
Mostly, I think that we've got a lot more, I think there's a lot more things that we could do with technology that we're not doing now, and it's probably because we just don't have enough training for everyone to use the technology at its fullest extent, or maybe that they're not comfortable using some of the technology, which again, we probably need to train more. You know, we have a little bit of technology that's kind of aging right now that we're trying to update so that it would give us more capabilities.
Does technology facilitate effective learning and or other student services?
I think sometimes it does. I mean, I think it depends on how the teachers use it. Sometimes it's extremely effective if it's monitored and used and planned correctly. A lot of times just if it's not monitored or if it's not planned out well, that the students don't get the full extent of the knowledge they could. I think the biggest factor, if a teacher's going to use technology, it really does take quite a bit of planning. And then training the students on how to use the technology, not just handing it to you and say, here, we're going to do this. But they've got to make sure that the students know how to use the technology correctly, plan it out so that you use the time that you have effectively, and you don't waste time trying to get the technology to work.
And then, what are the strengths with your departments dealing with technology? What would you say the strengths are?
I think there's a lot of advantages that we use. We use technology for dual credit here because we don't have dual credit teachers. We use technology here for training, so we don't have to drive all the way to our region service center, which is a long way off. We use technology with the ESL students, which has been very, very effective this year. We use technology with the migrant students, which has helped them quite a bit to teach kids how to organize thoughts, to teach kids to be able to go at different levels. So if the technology's in the room, we've got several classrooms where they're rotating through their stations, and one of the stations may be technology. So the student logs on at his level and begins to advance to whatever level he's at. It's not just one thing that every kid has to do, it's his level. Technology with credit recovery has been very successful. The technology that we use with the smart boards, more and more teachers are using theirs more effectively with warm-ups, even quizzes. They have the program that they use for reading, so that they have your vocabulary you type in, and they make up index cards. It's got pictures on one side and the definitions, and then it'll show you those as the kids are walking into class, and then in a few minutes it'll give you a little short quiz, and all the teacher has to do is type in the word. They don't have to create this thing, it just does it for them. So it saves teachers a lot of time. And I think it saves office staff and, like I said, teachers a lot of times in doing different things that we used to do by hand that we don't have to do anymore.
What would you say will be some of our weaknesses?
I think our weaknesses is lack of training and not knowing how to use the technology to the fullest extent. There's a lot of things that we probably could be doing that we don't do because we just don't know how, or we're afraid to go in and do it. Maybe we don't have the newest computers, and some of ours, it's kind of slow, so they just don't do it because it runs too slow. I think mostly just training and not know how to use it to its best ability.
My last question, if you could, and I think you kind of talked about some of the things, if you could change something with our technology, what would it be?
I would update it. It just takes lots and lots of money to keep technology updated because, after 3 years, technology is usually old. But we can only rotate about every 7 years with the budgets that we have. If I could do anything, I would rotate every couple of years. I would probably give kids that entered high school laptops. This is yours. You gotta keep it all the way through high school. And then every year when you come in, we order a new set of laptops. And then those laptops, by the time the kid graduates, are obsolete anyway, so send it with them to college or something. Teacher desktops need to be upgraded, and our labs, maybe not so much desktops in the lab, but maybe laptops in the lab so we can move them more cards, so we can take them to the classrooms instead of the kids going to a room. More money. I need more money so I can do all that.
Good to go. Good afternoon. I'm here with the nurse this afternoon, and I'm about to interview her about the use of technology within her department. And so I'm going to get some insight on how the nurses in the district use technology for her independent school district. So our first question is, what type of technology does your department use on a regular basis?
I use a computer, desktop computer, and it helps me keep medical records on all the kids. I'm able to log in all the screenings that I do, vision, hearing, scoliosis, any medical records that I have on the kids, I can log them in so that I can keep a medical history on them. Any kind of allergies, medications, anything that is routine with them, I can have easy access to it. So if I have a student that comes from the elementary school to the middle school, I can look at his record and it's saved from the year before. So if he's new to my school but has been in the district before, then I have easy access to all his medical records.
Okay. And so all of this is necessary or good for what reason?
This is all very necessary because it gives me information on any medical issues that this child has had before. If he's new to, some of our students move and then come back into the district, but I can look into our computer and if he's been in the district once before, if he has issues that the mom fails to tell me, I can go back in and look, such as asthma, diabetes, blood pressure issues, anything like that. It's kept in our log.
To what degree are workers knowledgeable of and proficient with technology in the department?
Basically just have fairly good computer skills to be able to get in and out of our websites.
Are there any particular websites y'all use, or
The Texas website.
Texas? Okay.
And that keeps everything. And MTRAC website. And that gives me access to immunization records.
And that's across the state?
That's across the state. So if they come from another district and don't have a shot record with their transfer papers, I can always go in there and pick one up.
All right. Are there any goals that y'all try to meet as a department?
The main goal that we try to meet as a department is to have as much information readily available on our students that we may need to keep them healthy and safe.
Is it hard obtaining that information?
Not necessarily, as long as it's been in the system once, it stays in the system.
So it's nothing you have to update every year?
The only time it's updated is if when they bring in an updated shot record, an immunization record, then we can go in there and we can update it. If they come in and their medication has been changed, then we can go in there and we can change that.
Does the technology facilitate effective learning or other student services?
I think it does, because I can go back, if I screen a student for hearing or vision and they don't score fairly well, I can go back and see what kind of vision and screening he or she has had before, and whether or not they may need follow-up with a regular physician.
What would you say the strengths are as far as technology? I know you've kind of talked about some of the things, but if we could go back, what would you say the strengths are?
Being able to have easy access on medical records for my students.
And what about weaknesses?
Is if they come in from another district and it has not been updated.
Is there anything you would change as far as technology? If you had the power, if money wasn't an issue, is there anything out there other districts are using that will be beneficial to Hearn ISD?
I think the one thing that would be beneficial, not just to Hearn ISD, but to all school districts, is because we are all on the same Texas website, to be able to go in to another district and pull that student's record if it doesn't get sent. But then there again, it falls into the HIPAA violation, which would be, is having access to medical records that we shouldn't have access to. That's the only issue that, we have with that. You can't update something to facilitate what we need without compromising everything else.
Is there anything that maybe we didn't cover with technology you would like to add?
No, I think that pretty much covers it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That it?
That's it.
Okay.
Just cutting pretty phone cooperate.
I'm about to interview the Director of Transportation for Hearn ISD. His name is Mr. Fundell Adams, and we're going to talk about some of the things that he does for the district and how he uses technology within his department. So Mr. Adams, tell me just a little bit about your job, things you do for the district.
Okay, I'm the transportation director. I take care of the school buses, the school vehicles, and I take care of delivering packages and inter-school mail.
Tell me how you use technology on a routine basis within your department.
Okay, I input all the kids' information by buses, and then I keep track of who's on what bus that way. And then I print out the sheets and get the drivers a copy of each kid on their bus. And then I keep track of maintenance and services done to the bus. And I keep up with what buses are going out on field trips and who the drivers are and the dates and times.
What about with the school vehicles? How they
School
operate?
vehicles, they email me and I assign them a vehicle. Depends on the number of people going on the trip. If it's too small group, I assign one vehicle, or a smaller vehicle. If it's a large group, I assign more than one vehicle. And I just email that person who's driving. I email them back and let them know this is a vehicle they got, where to pick the key up at, and where to put the key at when they get done.
Is that a pretty good process? It works?
Yes.
It's working, been effective for the district?
Yes, it has.
Are there any like objectives or goals y'all try to meet within your department? Anything with maybe safety or?
Try to have little accident, minimum accident as possible. No, try not to have any accidents or kids get hurt on buses.
Tell me about how y'all use the other technology that's on the bus, like the camera.
The cameras.
How does that help?
It helps a lot. It helps with the discipline and parent call and say, well, my kid say he wasn't acting up. I can go pull the memory card out that day and go back and look at it, and then I can get that parent call back. Well, at this time your child was doing this, and that's the reason he got wrote up. He or she got wrote up and had punishment handed out to him.
Have you ever had to use that? Go back and look at that
Yes.
footage and use it for a student?
Several times.
Does that help your bus drivers in any way?
Yes, because they can focus on driving and the camera. Plus I have monitors on the bus that helps with the discipline and keeping the kids in order.
If you had anything to change with technology, maybe you know of districts that use something else that's like upgraded, is there anything you would change if you had?
Yes, I would. I would use I can't think of the name of it. It's a system you can use that you can track the time the bus, where each stop the bus makes and where they're located at the GPS system.
I was reading an article the other day about some districts now on the student's ID, they scan it as they get on the bus, so it tracks who's on and off the bus and, you know, what time they got on. Because, you know, some parents say, oh, my child got on the bus, and then sometimes they don't. You think that'll be something that will be useful, or us being a smaller district really?
Really being a small district, it'll cost more for us since we're a small district, but I would like to do that. But like I say, just with being a small district, it'd be costly for us.
Anything else you want to share?
Like for me, for driving, I have 14 buses. I use 3 of them as 3 travel buses, activity buses we use as activity. And then we have 2 spare buses that we use in case something break down. And then I have 5 full-time drivers and the rest of them part-time.
5 full-time?
Yeah, 5 full-time and 4 part-time.
Tell me about your administrative assistant. Does she use the technology? Does she have to?
Yeah, she goes in, and when we need fuel or supplies, she goes in to the system and inputs the requisition to get a PO number, what we can get, what we need.
So she's pretty good at using the technology within
Yes.
your department? Thank you so much
All
for your
right.
time. I'm here with Mr. Taylor, who is our maintenance director for Hearn Independent School District. And we're going to talk about a few things that he does for the district, and we're going to talk about a little bit of the technology, how it's utilized in the department as well. First, Mr. Taylor, can you tell me what you do? I know you do so much, but just if you can kind of give me an overview.
Okay, well, I'm actually a maintenance manager, and we are day-to-day planning on our custodial staff and maintenance staff, and scheduling and organizing our work schedule throughout the course of the week. Basically just maintaining the schools, trying to keep them up to par.
What are some projects you're working on right now?
Some of the projects that we have the FFA project facilities, which is right off from the maintenance shop. The students will be able to bring their animals in, to better keep them, because a lot of the students don't have places of their own as far as farms or property to where they can house the animals. So this will provide a spot where they can bring them in and kind of have better care for them in a more of a safe, controlled environment, to take care of their animals.
What about some of the technology you use in your department?
The first, I think, technology that we've been using from the very get-go, I've just been here a couple of years, but we developed a work order system to where we can kind of have the staff go online and submit their work orders, and we can kind of react on them a little faster. And each one of the maintenance men on campus, they have their own desktops where they can go in every morning and look at the work orders. That way we can react on it a little bit faster and be a little bit more efficient and have a paper trail of the amount of work that we normally do. Before, I think they just was doing it by paper and by word of mouth, and a lot of times, they would get kind of lost in the process of trying to get there. So in this way, we can kind of keep an accurate record on it.
So going to the work order system has improved?
Yes.
Things within the department. And so you kind of answered my next question about people in your department being knowledgeable of using the technology. Nobody has any problems.
No, most of the maintenance guys that are stationed here at each campus, they're pretty knowledgeable about using the computer, and kind of went through this training to get a little bit more familiar with it. That's one of their main duties. Like I said, when they come in, first thing they want is to look at the work order schedule and see if there's anything new that came in, and so we can respond to it in a timely manner.
Have you set like any type of response time frame that you want your staff to kind of try to get to it within 3 days or a week?
Yeah, usually the way the maintenance, where it's designed, whenever you go in to look on that actual page, it has immediate response or emergency. It kind of depends on it. Once whatever the problem is, we can know how to kind of regulate the time when we need to react on it. A lot of times it's something in the classroom, and they will try not to be disruptive in the classroom, so they'll schedule it on the teacher's conference period. It just kind of depends on what that problem may be.
I know we kind of covered it, but tell me, what do you think the strengths are with the technology? I know you talked about one of the things I saw was that work order system.
Not only the work order system, we have we've implemented a new technology, which is an energy management system, and it's been a real plus for us because we've already been seeing the savings on costs. With this project, we have a system called DDC, which is a digital data control on our AC systems, and it allows us to regulate the time frame as far as the usage of it. We're putting LED lighting around the district, and we've already been seeing the savings on it. The DDC controls, it allows us to go in and look at the system as far as the HVAC systems and troubleshoot it there and see what the problem may be, if the unit is actually running or the discharge air temperature is down or high or something like that. But it helps us to better troubleshoot the AC systems without going and actually put hands on them. So we can kind
I guess that one of the main things is saving the district money.
Yes.
As far as utilities and all of that.
Yes.
Anything you see any weaknesses right now with technology?
Just right now, it's kind of, the program is still new and there's still a little kinks. We just kind of have to fine tune it like any kind of system. Once we get all the bugs out of it, I think it'll be a real plus. We've already been calculating some of the savings from this month and last year's month, same time last year, and it's already been a tremendous savings on it.
In a perfect world, if money wasn't an issue, and you just had to control to get something for the district, is there anything you've seen in another district with maintenance and technology? that you think would be beneficial in her?
Yeah, I think so. I think with the DDC controls that we have, the energy management system, there's so many other avenues you can go down as far as hopefully I can branch off to get the lighting controls. I mean, the lighting will go off whenever, you know, the building is not being occupied, and we can kind of control that a little bit better because, you know, we have seen lights being left on over the weekend, you know, in our gymnasiums. So there's different programs that we can implement into this here system that help us save money even further.
Anything else you want to add before?
Pretty much it. Like I say, it's kind of a working process. There's so much technology out there, and we're just trying to figure out what's going to best suit the district, you know, to save money and give the workers a better opportunity to, you know, better do their job. Basically, that's pretty much it.
Mr. Taylor, thank you for your
Okay,
time.
all right, thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm here with Ms. Cynthia Castelleja, who works with PEAMS, and I'm going to interview her as she talks about what she does with PEAMS and the technology they use for everything they do with PEAMS. So, Ms. Castelleja, tell me about what you do and why PEAMS is important.
PEAMS, well, with our PEAMS, that we do our enrollment, we do our withdrawals, our attendance, our discipline, everything that we have to submit to our TA to the state is through PEAMS. And that's where we get our money from with our attendance. And that's done on a daily basis. And I mean, everything that we have, report cards, progress reports, we keep all our grades, everything is on that. And it's very important for us to keep up with all that, and it's very private.
So all of this stuff is submitted to like the state of
To the state of
Texas?
Texas, yes, they can pull it up from their end, as well as, you know, there's only certain ones, like our computer tech, they can pull up and look at what all we've done on our system.
And you said it's important for testing as well?
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
That's where we get, for the testing, that's where we get all the kids, all their information is on there, their social, their birth date, their phone number, addresses, parents, everything, each one of our students, all their personal information is on there. That's information that we had, it goes on the testing booklets, that's where we get it from.
Tell me, what technology do you use for PEAMS?
We just, Texies is the only thing that we have.
Tell me a little bit about Texies.
Texies has, it has everything that we have to put in for PEAMS to be sent off for TEA. They can see it on their end. Pretty much it's just that one program that we have that we deal with. I mean, that's the only thing that we deal with is, and then it's really important because, I mean, that's where they're gonna get all their information for us. That's where our moneymaker is right there. That's with our PEAMS.
And then the money is attached to each kid, so
Yes.
they look at the attendance.
The attendance, everything, I mean, it has everything, like I said, the attendance, the ethnicity, I mean, they look at everything.
What would you say the strengths are, maybe with this program or the technology you use?
The strength for PEAMS, I mean, everything that we need is on there. I mean, everything that we have to use for each student or anything that, you said, the testing, the teachers need for each student is put in PEAMS.
And would you say that there are any weaknesses?
We may have a few things, but they upgrade every now and then that we may come across that maybe we wish that we could just pull these certain kids or without having to pull like a whole, list of them, or just small things that we work around and that we can, work with.
So is there any like technology out there that other districts use that's good that we don't have? that deal with PIMS?
Not that I know of, because even through, I mean, well, we do have one more thing that when we enroll and withdraw students, we have another system called T-Rex. And the whole state of Texas uses that, and that's what we use when we enroll and withdraw students. We request the records through this system, and it's just through the state of Texas only. That means that when we request records, we go online, get onto this system, and we can shoot it over to the other school, and it's a lot more privacy than fax and papers that where people can, pick up and see. This is a lot more, I guess, it's more private, and they get it right away.
Anything else you want to share? Maybe it's something we haven't discussed.
No, we can also, through that T-Rex, we can also find out where a student is located. It's like a PID, we do a PID search, and it shows us where the kid was before, where the student was located before, what school they went to.
Is there anything that allow y'all to get records now electronically instead of having to?
Yes, through that.
T-Rex.
Through T-Rex, yes. And we can get that electronically.
What about like the paperwork, beginning of the year, do you have to input that?
Yes.
Student records?
Students that are coming back, we try to update all their, like maybe new phone numbers and new addresses and stuff. And then we have new forms for like the students that the new ones that come in. Now, it would be nice if we could electronically have them, it would be nice if we could electronically have these, all these enrollment papers and stuff so that the parents can maybe come in and just say, well, sign here or, or check here that everything's still the same instead of us sending a whole packet. And, because it saves paper, then it saves time for the parents, because they may have siblings at the other schools and they're filling out 4 or 5 packets of the same, that each school has to have. When we can have it with each PEEM person at each campus, we can pull up that, same. If sisters over here and brothers over here, junior high and high school, if it's good for the elementary and it's all good, they check it for that one school, we automatically have it for the others, yes.
So there's no way right now in Hearn ISD that parents can go in and fill out the papers electronically?
No, we need that, we really do.
All right, well, thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome, anytime.
Good afternoon, it's me, Deron Robinson again. Here I am to do my reflection over my participating video in which I interviewed different personnel on their use of technology in their various departments. I interviewed majority of the people in the computer lab on the junior high campus. One of the guys that is over the human resources department, I interviewed him in his office that was located at the high school. I did this so I could get a better sense of knowledge on how technology is used in the various departments. We think we have a clue that sometimes they just use a computer and that's basically it. But as I talk to these individuals and learn more about what they do for the district and for the various campuses, I saw how technology was used. Technology is being used every day in various fields for a multitude of purposes. So it's good to know as a instructional leader, as a principal, how technology is being used. You never know. You might have to move into one of these departments. Somebody gets put on leave for a while. As an instructional leader on your campus, you might have to somehow deal with PEEMS. You might have to go into the nurses system and look up different things. So this gave me a sense of how things work, things I would need to know, basic level things I would need to know, just in case the impossible happened. What was going through my mind as I interviewed these individuals was, wow, they use more technology than I thought. I'm like, it's not just basic level things. So it was good to get a sense of what they use, how they use it. And then as I get toward the end of this, as I asked them what they would change, some of their thinking just blew my mind. The outcome, I thought the interviews went pretty well. One of the things that I would probably change if I had to do this video again is that I would tell them to focus more on me. Don't worry about the camera that's recording you. I think a few of the individuals were nervous about being recorded. And so I would tell them from the very beginning, look, don't be nervous. Just act like you're having a conversation with me without the camera being there. I'm not saying they did bad. They did an awesome job. But I think at the beginning of it, it was more nerves worrying about the camera than the actual interview with me. What I learned from the Human Resource Department, they use technology in so many ways, of course. All of our budget things go through a system, public relations, when communicating with the community, they have a system for that. What I learned about from the nurse though was that say if they don't get certain records, they have a website now that they can go through, and it's through the state of Texas, where they can go and find records in case they didn't get something that was updated or they don't receive the paper records. They can go into a system and look up and make sure all the shots are current, or if they're dealing with a particular allergy or whatever it is that's going on. Food service department, what I learned is that they will be getting a new system. Although I didn't get to interview the lady, emergency circumstances came up from the school board meeting, they will be getting a new system in the food service department that will allow the students to scan their IDs. It will allow them to know who picked up a tray, who didn't pick up a tray. And then it's another function that they will be able to have, even though we won't utilize it because everybody eats free lunch. But say the account balance got low, it will be able to send a message, email, or phone call to the parent, letting them know that their child's account balance is low. Maintenance, they use technology. If you want to request a vehicle, send an email that goes to the director of transportation or his administrative assistant. They will let you know if they have a vehicle available. If not, you use your own vehicle, you get reimbursed. But the technology on the buses is great. The video cameras, it helps with discipline. It helps with the driver just being able to focus on the road, so if something happens, they're able to pull up the tape. Say a parent doesn't agree, they want to side with their child. Well, the director of transportation is able to pull up the video and look at that footage and make a decision based on that. Our maintenance department even utilized technology. One of the things now, instead of submitting paper requests for work orders, you now go online and submit a work order. And so things get done faster. They're able to track it better. They're able to keep a file of what's been fixed, what hasn't been fixed, and they want to make sure they do that in a timely manner. Like I said again, I can't stress how privileged I was to be able to interview these particular individuals to see how they utilize technology. As I said at the beginning, we're in a society now where technology is being used for everything, regardless if you have a college degree or a GED. Some type of way, you're going to have to be able to manipulate technology in whatever job or field that you decide to go in. It is our job now to make sure that we're training this generation of thinkers to be able to use technology in various ways. Like you see, food department, maintenance, human resources, teaching, medical office, whatever field you go in now, you have to be able to use technology. So again, I was thankful to be able to interview these people. There's not much that I would change if I had to do this differently, other than just telling the people, be comfortable having a conversation with me. Don't focus so much on the camera. The experience to me went well. I was thankful that the people were able to do it. I was thankful that they were willing to participate in this video, and so it allowed me to gain a better sense of not only what they do on a daily basis, but how that technology is being utilized. So again, I was thankful to be able to choose this particular option for this video, and I hope I did an okay job. Thank you.